Hello and welcome to the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast. I'm your host, Amy Bajada, a member of both the City of Whittlesea Business Network and Business Advisory Panel, but also a proud small business owner based in Doreen. Together with the City of Whittlesea, we're sharing local stories and insights that matter to our community of businesses. We recognise the rich Aboriginal heritage of this country and acknowledge the Wurundjeri Willem clan and Tangarang people as the traditional owners of lands within the City of Whittlesea. This podcast is all about celebrating the incredible stories of local businesses, the people, the passion and the progress shaping our region. Whether you're a fellow business owner, a future entrepreneur or just someone curious about what makes our community thrive, this podcast is for you. Let's get started and connect through the heart of the City of Whittlesea's business network. Proudly the only 100% Aboriginal female-owned plant hire business in Victoria, NLA Trucking has grown from a one-truck operation into a thriving enterprise based in Epping, with over 200 contractors and 13 employees working across major infrastructure projects. As a leader in inclusive employment, NLA is committed to creating opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, women, LGBTIQA plus individuals, refugees, people with disabilities, youth and ex-offenders. Through bold leadership, inclusive policies and a deep commitment to equity, NLA Trucking is driving real change and setting a powerful example for diversity in the transport and logistics sector. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi, Amy.
Let's start with your origin story, because I know that NLA Trucking didn't begin with a huge fleet and a national presence. What did those early days look like for you, and what drove you to start your own business in such a tough industry?
So when I started, I was originally just a truck driver working for somebody else. Mm-hmm. I did a different job that was really good money, still involved driving trucks, but carrying firearms, picking up cash. Wow. A lot of really good money for my age, but I hated it. I was miserable. The people I worked with were horrible, and I was stuck in a truck with them all day. So I was like, I need to do something else. Yeah. I need to do something that I'm going to enjoy. It's not all about money, more about my life and being happy in life and getting out of bed and wanting to go to work. Mm-hmm. So I decided to just drive trucks and move away from that, go into the construction industry instead. Big pay cut, but I was happy to go to work and like the people I worked with, so I enjoyed it. After a few years, I ended up driving a truck. Things probably weren't great. It was a little bit quiet in the asphalt industry that I was in. And I was driving a truck for somebody who his truck was about to need a rebuild, and that can be anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 depending on what it is. Mm-hmm. So I told him he needs to sell his truck and either buy a new one or I'll find somewhere else to work. And he said to me, okay, how about you buy your own truck? And to be honest, there was no great story, anything interesting. I was like, oh, okay, I've never thought of that.
Of course
I could do
can.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but prior to him just saying, why don't you buy your own truck, I actually never thought I could do it, never even contemplated it, like it wasn't on my radar at all. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of people have these great stories of, oh, I was going to do this because I wanted to change the world. For me, it was just somebody saying to me, why don't you buy your own then? I went,
but I actually think that's a great story when you're actually empowered to get to a point where your thought process is, of course I can. Like I'm right there. Of course I could do that.
Yeah. So I went and I tried to get finance to buy my first truck. Luckily for me, I had a female finance broker who was also one of the first in her industry to own her own finance company. So she had probably already gone through a lot of the things I was about to go through, which was the big banks coming back and saying, oh, this is a Phoenix application for her husband.
Oh.
Yeah, I was not married. I was single. I think I was 23, 24 when I started this process. We explained, I don't have a husband. Mm-hmm. It's for me. The truck's getting painted pink. I'm driving it. So then they said, oh, okay. Could you send me a video of you driving a truck to prove you can actually drive a truck?
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
So we had to take a video, send it back to the bank. At this point, my female finance broker, she had a male finance broker working with her as well. They're both getting pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
And we're going, okay, let's just do it. They said they don't agree with it, but let's just do it to get you what you need and get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
So we went, yep, let's do it. Then they come back and they said, okay, all right, so she can drive a truck. It's not for her husband.
Oh.
What happens when she gets married and has kids?
That was their next question.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's going to have to stay at home. That truck's not going to be able to go to work. She's going to go broke because what else do you do if you have kids? You have to be a stay-at-home mother.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, my finance broker went back and said, this is going too far. We're going to take this further.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, they got approved the next day.
Of course they did. That was so inappropriate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and it was only 9 years ago. So, not that long ago, really.
No.
And unfortunately, things like that still happen today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're not too far from that, though, which is really sad.
Yeah, so hopefully changes. There is small changes, but slow, very slow.
Yeah.
And disappointing. I'm now married with a child, a 3.5-year-old, and another one.
And what are you going to do? No, I'm joking.
Exactly. I don't get to work anymore. No, I've got another one on the way and I'm still working.
Yeah.
And I hired my first sales rep outside the Mercy Hospital a day after my child was born.
Fabulous. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So there was like, if you want to do something, you can do it whether you have a child or not.
Yeah.
There's another lady that I met earlier on when we first started in construction as well. And she would tell me stories about how she used to get her kids to sleep in the drawer in the office when they were babies because there was nowhere else to
No one's to go, yeah.
And she still had to go to work.
Wow. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable hearing that that had to be part of your story. But you've overcome so much.
Yeah, it is. I'm used to it, to be honest. I know that sounds bad. You shouldn't.
I was going to say it's terrible that you have to get to that point, but...
Yeah, but at least people can see there is ways around it. You just have to get through it and don't let it get to you, unfortunately, because if we had have let it get to us, I wouldn't have bought my first truck and I wouldn't be where I am now.
Of course, that would have stopped you in your tracks. And there's that level of excitement just at the knowledge that you could have purchased your own truck. This is where I want to go and this is what I want to do. Okay. Does any of this have anything to do with your move from the southeast Victoria to the north? Epping in particular, I've heard it wasn't particularly a business decision necessarily that sparked that, but a personal one. But in terms of getting your own truck, can you tell us about that transition and how it impacted the growth and then the direction of NLA? Yeah,
so we still have a yard in Seaford in the southeast. It's not Usula, but it's still there. That's where we originally started. To be honest with you, when I was an owner-driver, I kept my truck in my driveway at home because it was just me. But once I started buying more trucks and had staff, we needed to get a yard. So we started up out there. Yep. We got pretty busy, got some of our first major government projects in the southeast.
Wow.
We were probably running maybe 30 to 40 subcontractors a day. Getting pregnant, having a child, I don't have any family. Mm-hmm. My husband does, and he's been in the northern suburbs his entire life.
Right. So
it was like, what's going to be...
Go where the support is.
Yeah, what's going to be the better option here? It's better. His parents are mid-70s, so they're a lot, but it's still better for our child to grow up around the family that they do have. Mm-hmm. So we went, okay, I guess we go to the north. Yeah. And he's got his business in City of Whittlesea in Epping as well. Mm-hmm. So he's like, well, you better buy a factory in Epping.
Yeah.
And I went, yep. Okay. I guess we should. And now we do so much more work in the northern suburbs than we do in the southeast. Yeah. I'd like to get some of that back. We're working on that. Huh. But
it'll come for sure.
Yeah, everything's based out of Epping now, except for those few trucks that park in the southeast.
Yeah. And it's a great hub for your industry out in Epping, for sure.
Well, there's so many other businesses that we've just met in that same area with us that we now do work for as well.
Opportunity, yeah, definitely. I want to address the elephant in the room, if I may. The transport and logistics space is still very male-dominated. We talked about some of the, the limitations that you've experienced already. But yet here you are, a proud Aboriginal woman leading one of the most inclusive and, might I add, impressive operations. I've been looking forward to sitting down with you. Definitely. Very impressive. What's it been like breaking those barriers over and above the finance component, and how do you stay strong in the face of those challenges?
So it's really interesting. Obviously, there's some great people out there who have supported us, both men and women. Sometimes I go into a room with some people who have been in construction who are double my age, especially when I was younger, obviously 9 years now, when I first started going into the major project space. And you could see they just rolled their eyes as soon as I walk in the room.
Because age would be a factor, not just gender.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You've got, okay, they're an Indigenous business. They're probably small, which is not true. No. But people assume that. And then they go, oh, and it's a female owner. Here we go. Oh, and she's only in her 20s. Yeah, okay.
God forbid there's a new perspective.
Exactly. Forgetting that I started at, 19 driving trucks. So I obviously knew the industry pretty well. I'd worked in it, but they didn't see any of that. No. They didn't know any of that.
They choose not to, right?
Yeah, and there weren't many girls on the job sites. So they just go, yeah, here we go. Obviously with some social procurement targets coming out in government projects as well, they assume, oh, yeah, this is just another person who's made something up to meet that. And it's like, no, I'm actually in this industry already.
Yeah.
I've been doing this forever. So I'd walk into rooms and they'd just roll their eyes, ask me questions thinking that I wouldn't know the answer to anything. And I like to ask them questions that I know they don't know the answer to about their industry. And then by the end of the meetings, they would look at me and go, oh, you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. So it's just really sometimes proving them wrong, changing their perspectives. We still face similar things today. Like I was told recently by a small contractor who's not even one of these big tier 1 contractors that they didn't think we were big enough to support their project.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just laughed. I said, okay, don't worry about it. We're not even going to try and push the point right now because we could go out there and try and prove we are, but they don't think we are. They're not going to listen. They don't care. They just need to see our work performed to believe it. But we're working on major projects where we're supplying the entire thing and there's someone who needs 2 or 3 trucks a day telling us they don't think we can perform it.
Yeah.
So we've got jobs that have 30 trucks a day on there.
Yeah.
To us, that was a small job.
Yeah.
But because it's a female-owned business, they've just assumed we can't do it.
Yeah, and it's sad that a lot of people that you would have walked into a room that were already sitting there with the assumption that they don't have to be asked what their experience is, but you feel as though there's already that implied, I need to show you or demonstrate what I'm capable of, whereas the work speaks for itself. And I'm assuming that you've got a long list of jobs anyway. So these smaller jobs, are ones that will either come or go, but you're right where you need to be and you're impressing the people that respect what you do and the work that you actually put out.
Yeah, so now we're running 100, 200 trucks a day, depending on what's happening. We've got a project coming up where we're going to need over 100 trucks a day on just that one job.
Yeah.
And we're capable and able to perform that. But then you still see people going, oh, yeah, here we go, this female business can't give us 2 trucks a day. And it's like, have a look at what we're actually doing, guys. Don't just
There's a reason for that, yeah.
Yeah, so we're competing with the major players in the industry.
Yeah.
And you can tell it upsets them because they do complain about us a lot and try and rock the boat, but we just continue to do a good job.
Yep.
And it works for us. We don't need to get involved in their politics or rubbish.
Yeah.
Just go prove ourselves, do a good job, and we consistently continue to get the work.
And that's the skeleton of any good business, right? Regardless of who's at the helm and gender or age or anything like that. That's the skeleton of a really good business. And that's the validation that comes naturally, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, inclusion isn't just a buzzword I hear at NLA. I'd love to hear about the opportunities that you create for so many diversified groups. And what do you think other businesses can learn from that type of commitment?
So we do lots of different things. How I've always worked, and like if you look at me, I didn't have some sort of diploma or all this experience or anything when I started my business. I just kind of winged it. Yeah. Probably not the best.
Well, you had some experience.
Yeah, driving a truck, but not as a business owner or anything else. So we hire all different types of people. We've got office admin people, accounts people, operations, sales, truck drivers, like wide different variety of people. We don't really care so much about their experience. It's more about the person and their attitude when they get to our office. Do they want to work? Do they want to be here? Are they committed? Because I believe you can teach anyone anything as long as they want to learn.
Right.
So for us, we kind of try to do the opposite of looking for experience and just look for the right attitude and give anyone a go. So we've got some people who work for us who have come straight from prison.
Yes.
And they've tried to turn their lives around and are doing really well for themselves now.
Fabulous.
We've got a lot of Indigenous people who have come from unemployment, and we've got a pilot program that we've started up as well, which is for Indigenous people at the moment. I would like to make it include other people, but at the moment funding's an issue, but we'll get there eventually.
Great.
So they work for us for 12 months and then we help them to buy their own truck.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much I will help mentor them and teach them anything that I had to learn going from a truck driver to owning my first truck so that they can do their opportunities are endless, really. They can do what I've done if they really wanted to.
100%.
They can do whatever they want to. They're going to be their only limitation. We're happy to support them and help them throughout that. And we'll guarantee them work through us for the next 5 years, which is how long it takes to pay off a truck.
That's so inspirational. And sometimes it just takes for people to believe that they can turn their lives around through, circumstance in their world potentially.
Yep.
What gives you the courage to do that when so many others don't?
Well, for me, it was something as simple as that comment of you should buy your own truck. And I was like, oh, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
No one in my family's ever owned their own business. Most of them, I don't think anyone except for me actually even finished school. So sometimes it just takes one person to give you that opportunity. And I always say to people, you might knock on 10 doors and 9 people might say no, but one is going to say yes. You need to keep trying. So if we can be the people that says yes or say yes to these people, then that's their opportunity there, and it's up to them to use it, take it.
Wow. That's so impressive. It's extremely impressive. And I hope everyone's listening to what you're saying there, because everyone deserves that. I really do appreciate you saying that. I want to shift gears slightly, because apparently running one business clearly isn't enough for you, and you've launched an online baby wear store.
Yeah.
Where do you find the energy, time, and how do you balance running a logistics empire and being an advocate, entrepreneur, everything else in between?
It's quite funny. Sometimes people pick up orders and they're like, oh, I'm at a trucking company. Is this the right place? I'm like, yeah, it's just in the back room. Should I have done it? Probably not. Did I have the time to? Probably not. But I did it anyway.
Yeah.
And I make the time to.
Yes.
I enjoy it. It's something different. It gives us a break from trucks. Well, me a break from trucks, really. No one else does anything for it except for me. It's just me. But it's just something different. But it gives us other spaces and opportunities to do things too. So what we're doing at the moment is we're getting together about $10,000 worth of baby clothes and dummies, accessories, like any baby items up to 5 years old, and sending it to the remote communities in Northern Territory, the Indigenous communities out there. So like it gives us the opportunity to do other things with it as well.
Yeah. And still, help causes that are near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Tell us a bit about it.
There's not much to say, really. Baby clothing, and accessories. We also we get supplies from another local business in Thomastown that makes dummies. So it's all made in Australia here. So we try and stick to local businesses where we can, and support those as well. All online. We've got a little showroom, but it sometimes ends up a bit of a mess with boxes everywhere because I don't have time to unpack them. Yeah. But yeah, we're trying to grow that slowly. But obviously, unfortunately, the trucks come first. They're what makes us the money to be able
they're bigger too. They're right in your face, right?
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you need something to fund your next ventures and stuff.
Exactly. It's more, it probably doesn't make me any money.
Yeah.
But it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's something different.
And sometimes it's not about the money.
That's right.
When you can be in that position, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you've already achieved so much, from starting one truck to leading a team of hundreds and driving real change in the industry. What's next for NLA, and what's on the horizon that you're excited about?
So there's some new projects coming up that we're obviously trying to get into in the local area, and outside of the local area as well, and eventually hopefully get into Queensland markets. So that's our plan, and to try and set up some tip sites, because obviously tipping options help. Where we can recycle material, reuse material, and do whatever to make the project work better. Have closer options. But Queensland's more my project again, because I like the warm weather.
And you spare time. In your spare time. Yeah.
Exactly. It's been too cold lately.
So you'd relocate?
No, I couldn't.
You could just pop up there and get some warmth when you needed it.
I get a business holiday.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I could go there and work and at least be warm when it's winter. I'll stay here for summer and just go there for winter.
Fair enough. All right, we're going to shift gears slightly. It's all here in the city of Whittlesea, and we want to hear what your favourite local gems are, your go-to guide, the local businesses you wouldn't hesitate to recommend here in the city of Whittlesea. So no overthinking, just some gut instinct. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. If you forgot your lunch, where are you headed?
Oh, that's a hard one because I have to overthink it. There's so many places.
Yes, places around.
You've got like the pizza studio. Near the petrol station there on Hearns Road. One of the other ones, Abruzzo Lab.
What about Friday night takeout?
A lot of the time, sometimes if I'm at work late, There's I think it's the sandwich chef in the plaza.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Sometimes it's lunch
Okay.
as well.
All right.
Lunch, sandwiches.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about a place for some me time if you've got some in all of that?
Normally I don't, but you know, I know the last few times we've left the office and gone out to lunch, we've gone to either Nina Cucina
Okay.
or Abruzzo Lab
All right.
because they're nice little places where I can hide in a corner and not have to.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Nice. Food is always my go-to when it's me time, for sure. Thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing your story and more about your amazing, inspiring businesses with us today. I'm truly inspired by you.
Thank you.
Hearing how you've grown NLA Trucking from a single truck into a force for change in the transport and logistics space is nothing short of inspiring. Your leadership, your advocacy, and your unwavering commitment to inclusion shows what's possible when businesses are built on purpose, equity, and community. So thank you.
Thank you.
If you're looking to diversify your workforce, remove barriers to employment, or connect with inclusive hiring initiatives, the City of Whittlesea Economic Development Team can help. Let's work together to create opportunities for everyone. If you'd like to follow NLA Trucking or learn more about their business, you can find them on Instagram and Facebook and their website at www.nlatrucking.com.au, and we'll also include all their details in the show notes. Next time on the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast, we'll be meeting with Don Tidbury from DPV Health. I'm Amy Bajada, and it's been a pleasure hosting you today. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sending us an email at business@whittlesea.vic.gov.au. We love hearing what resonates with you. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the speakers and do not reflect the official position of the City of Whittlesea. Information is accurate at the time of the recording. This podcast is for general information only and does not constitute professional advice. For professional advice, please consult a qualified practitioner. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on the City of Whittlesea Business Network podcast.